You know we're going to hit that portal like it hadn't been hit before. You know that.
Y'all watch me a lot more often when Colorado wins. Deion Sanders seems to already be making all the right steps in the transfer portal. And I feel like this is something that he's been laying out over the years, over the seasons. It's been small little nuggets. So we're going to, in this video, react to a few of those nuggets, right? Listen to Deion Sanders allude to the transfer portal season he seemed to already have, right? Alluding to him getting the types of Julian Lewis. And maybe what we're going to talk about, our first topic, is securing an ex-Alabama wide receiver that also goes to the same school or went to the same school as Julian Lewis and played alongside him. I think the goddamn Buffaloes are locked and loaded for another year. All right, but if you like the video, please leave a like on it. Dislike if you don't like it. We're gonna hop right into it and really get talking about a few different things that Colorado has to goddamn get after. So let's not waste any more time. Mr. Alabama true freshman wide receiver Caleb Odom plans to enter the transfer portal. He tells On3 the 6'5", 227 wide receiver will have 3 years of eligibility, was ranked as a a 5-star recruit in the 24 class per On3. Now, Colorado's name's already been linked to the Texas Tech gentleman. I forgot his name. They've already been linked to the Jonte Cook out of Texas. This is a type of body, besides Will Shepherd, this is the type of body I don't think Colorado has on their roster right now, except for Mr. Russell, who just recently entered the transfer portal. So, it seems like a guy who has relationships with the brand new quarterback coming in, big body, big boy, big bad type at 6'5". Did I mention that he played on the same team with the quarterback that's coming in here? Go ahead, just holla at him. Just say what's happening to him. I think he can get something done, and as you can see, and I had this on in the background too. He's every bit of 6'5", man. This is Julian Lewis slinging it back to him when they were teammates. Obviously, Julian Lewis is on his state championship run right now. And small update before we get into the rest of the Deion Sanders videos. What's it called? We can watch those videos. Y'all let me know in the comment if y'all want us to actually talk about high school videos. We can do that. I'm not gonna bore y'all with too much, but Julian Lewis did just advance to the state championship, beating the Beaufort Wolves. I'm not gonna dox myself. I'm not gonna dox myself. Both Carrollton and Beaufort, I live in Georgia, so it's cool seeing these local teams and local state championships. It's like having real life implications. It's funny to know that he's about to go off to Colorado. It's like, oh, okay, cool, doing this thing down here. Hopefully he gets his state championship. That'll be dope for him. He's playing some good football, and he recently recovered from a hand injury. So let's get into Coach Prime and some alluding. So this was after the senior day. We're gonna go backwards in time. So this is the most recent. Then we're going to go here where this was, I believe, just the week before. And then we're going to go, I think, last year. This is last year when he's alluding to how he wants to go ahead and execute the transfer portal. So let's just sit back and relax, grab a snack, and watch, man.
But we envision the thought process. Like, we know what we have. We know what we got. Now we're adding pieces to it. Like, you see it in the recruitment. You're going to see it in the portal that we're going to add tremendous pieces to shore us up so that we can make a run again. We already on that tip. We already on that thing to trying to fill these voids for next season.
You on the what? He's on the what? I'm joking. I'm joking.
And then specifically with this being your guys' first year back in the Big 12,
right?
In your mind, how immediate or how impactful is having a season like this? Your guys.
Well, it's tremendous impactful for recruiting. It's a tremendous impactful for you all, for our fan bases as well. I mean, you get more viewership, and the stories that you report, you get more notoriety in the things that you write and things that you say, things that you speak, things that's recorded. Everybody wins. I think that's the thing I really want to impress on all of you. It's not just us winning, you winning too. So when you want to keep this up, because when you're not, half of this room is empty. Ain't nobody got no jobs, right? But when we win it, everybody working. Everybody getting the call. Everybody getting the job. Everybody getting the hit. Hey, go cover Colorado. Isn't that true? So I think we should work together to keep this thing going instead of hating. Let's appreciate one another. I appreciate every last one of y'all. Good or bad, I really do.
Let's go two more. Go ahead, Scott.
Hey, Coach, Scott Proctor at DUBR. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, sir.
Former NFL USC running back Lindell White tweeted during the game that CU was by far the hardest hitting football team in college football.
Awesome.
From your perspective, how far has this team kind of come in terms of physicality, particularly?
Well, we've come tremendous ways. It's so funny because we focused on running to the ball full speed all week long without breaking down. I didn't want them chop their feet breaking down. I wanted them to run through the opponent, and we worked on that all during the week. We stopped practice a couple times and let's start it over. Let's do it over. And young men, they got it. They got it. We showed a couple clips last night of the first play from the twos and then the first play from the ones. And I said, which ones are the ones and twos? It looks like the twos were the ones, so the ones got to step it up. And they did today. They came out swinging. Proud of them.
Last one, Alex, go ahead.
Coach Prime, Alex from Mary's Mom Sports, the final word. Congratulations on your victory today.
All right, that's going to be our sign to pop out of here. But just kind of speaking on a few of the things that he was talking about there, I think I want to start specifically. I got to speak to when he said, hey, man, whenever Colorado's winning, a lot of people make some money, man. A lot of people get more views. Y'all watch me a lot more often when Colorado wins. I'm just saying, man. It's to my Colorado watchers who only watch you for Colorado. Y'all watch a lot more when they win. And that's I'm gonna just leave that out in there in the space. But also back to his recruiting point, right? Notice how all those things kind of related back to recruiting, even without even trying, right? You play physical. You have someone like Lindell White talking about how amazing and how physical the Colorado Buffalo team is. If you said that an NFL legend would have talked about how hard hitting in totality the Colorado Buffalo team was, they'd probably smack you in the mouth last year, right? This is a completely different team that has changed so much from the 1-11 team and then so much from the 4-8 team into where we are right now. And you can see that. You can see that it's not just about, we say good things in recruiting. No, that was right after a game. Hey, we showed some dominance. We showed that, hey, young guys. I know he was talking about Draylon Miller too. This is not good. I don't think it's going to be in this one because we watched those videos when we talked about Draylon Miller. But going back to that, hey, if you're going to be a young guy, if you're going to come here, you're going to play. Like how is that not helping and aiding in the recruiting process? So he lays it out in a pretty good way there. So let's hop back into it.
They want the best teams, and they want the teams who draw the most as well. So it's about several things. Unfortunately, it is what it is.
Two more, go ahead, Jack.
Hey, Coach Scott Proctor, DMVR, how you feeling?
Good, sir.
Glad to hear that. I know your immediate focus is Friday, Oklahoma State. You said last week, though, that you kind of already have this thing mapped out in terms of next year and beyond. I'm just curious how you would kind of describe the situation, a high school quarterback or even a transfer quarterback would kind of be walking into, next season, how they would kind of be insulated, supported, and whatnot.
Well, they're pretty darn good. We have options, tremendous options when it comes to that. And we've just secured one of the top high school quarterbacks in the country. I'm going to cross that hurdle when we get there. Right now, man, I'm focused and I'm locked in on the goal that's right there in front of us on Friday. That's the focus. I'm not thinking about no turkey, no dressing, no black eyed peas and rice and yellow rice and sweet potatoes and yams and what kind of cake is that? Red velvet cake, peach cobbler. I'm not thinking about all that. I'm thinking about this game. That's our Thanksgiving.
Got two more, Jake, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Jake Schwannis, DMVR.
How you doing, sir?
Doing well. How you doing?
Good.
I know you just said your focus, but early signing day is a week away. Is there anything that you can share with us about that?
We're going to be straight. We got what we want. We don't take a lot of high school players, and the ones that we take, we want them to play immediately. We want them to produce, be productive. Best thing about it, we go into a bowl, they get to practice with us in the bowl game. So they get to get an early start and get here and we can see what they're working with. So we're excited about that. But we're going to hit that portal like it hadn't been hit before. You know that. That's what we do. And we have certain positions we know everything we want. We know what we're going to get. Of course, we hadn't spoken to all the guys that are probably going to jump in the portal. But we're going to do some good things. And replace some players that pretty much are darn irreplaceable. What are you going to get for a Travis and a Shador? You're going to try your best to. May take 2 players of each. You may get 4 guys just to handle with those 2. And we have some great, Cam and Shadozi. So we got some great players and Wester and Will Shepard. It's some wonderful talent that's walking out that door. But we plan on bringing some tremendous talent as we did last year.
Last one, Jack.
Good question.
Absolutely, absolutely, and there you go. That's what I talk about when I talk about like him hinting at what's gonna get done and how he's gonna do it. Right? It's not just simply, and I think that was important that he brought it up, because then you talk about back in 2023 when Deion Sanders, this is Brian Howell, he covers Colorado sports and things like that. Deion Sanders has often stated he has a 40-40-20 plan with recruiting. A lot of people in my comments, a lot of my Colorado guys, Deion Sanders guys, y'all let me know that, hey, this is something that he believes in as well. 40% grad or older transfers, 40% undergrad, younger transfer, and 20% high school. Colorado's class so far, this is of December 2023, was 10-7-5. So, 45-32-23. So pretty close, 45-32-23, and then updated here December 22nd. That was, I guess, the same day. I guess they added a few more. 26% for high school, right? 30% for young transfers, and 45% for old transfers. So this is kind of the methodology that Deion Sanders had previously lived by. It seems like if you covered, especially if you checked it out again, Julian Lewis, a few more good offensive linemen, defensive linemen. They got some good pieces when it comes to their class, recruiting class that is for 2025. The high school one, they ranked, I believe, 38th in the nation and number 2 in the Big 12 when everything was all said and done. So not bad at all for a team that doesn't recruit in high school. But hey, like you said, the transfer portal is when it happens. And you're probably, when you're watching this, I'm going to drop this on the first day of transfer portal. So things probably have already been popping off, XYZ, Elemental P. But regardless, this was a year ago, back after the loss of, they lost to UCLA. Everything was grim. All the haters were going crazy. Let's see kind of where Deion's mindset was back then.
I mean, to understand this is they always say the granddaddy of them all, and to see the iconic games that has been played here, and not to be able to play in it as in my whole entire career, but to come back and coach in it. And you got to think about, see, when we walk Coach Hart, Coach Mathis, and Mr. Calhoun, who runs our operations. I'm serious, like 7 years ago, us, Coach Hart was running the defense, Coach Mathis was running the defense, I was coaching the offense, Coach Calhoun was running the operations. Same thing we were doing with youth when we took 7 busloads of kids to the Hall of Fame. So we always take a picture in these type of stadiums, and we just think about, wow, like, this is unbelievable.
Do you have to remind yourself to take in those moments and appreciate
Yeah, I do. I don't have to remind myself. It comes natural. It's a blessing. It truly is. So that's why it's hard to knock me off my horse, because I always think about the goodness of God and how good He's been. Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Coach, it's not often that a head coach is out there after a loss and volunteer to take more questions.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. My question, though, it seems like you've found the balance so far this season.
Sorry, they got me.
Insight into how you walk that line between father and coach when you see Shiloh being ejected and Shiloh
Right.
taking those hits.
Well, it's easy to walk that line when I've always walked that line. And I said several weeks ago, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. I've been doing this, I've coached my kids their entire life. They only really know me as a coach. Shador has never had another football coach in his life. Shiloh did, because he went to the University of South Carolina. But I've raised them and coached them their whole life, so it's easy for me to switch hats instantaneously, but to understand who they are as an athlete as well. And I don't baby them, I don't.
And I know it might be crazy to think that that's a point too, but that is a big point. I got on here earlier on this year and I talked about how Deion Sanders favors his son. And I meant it in a very harmless way, and I stand by it. And what I mean, and if I can expound upon that, is I think that, having your son and giving them grace in the way that you coach and being fair and stern enough to make sure they can improve, I think that's giving, what's it called? A certain, credence, giving a certain lenience to them, right? And again, maybe I should have termed it better, and maybe my vocabulary is just not big enough to say that, but I think it's clear to see that I don't think that, favor is what I said. I don't mean that in a favor over anybody in a negative way, in a oh no. I just mean that, hey, that's my son. The way that my intentionalities, the way that I go about things, the way that I represent them, even though all of them are my sons. I mean, hey, that it's going to be easier to be able to speak for the people that I know their thoughts. They talk to me in private. They have a different type of conversation that just comes with connections in general. So, but to see that it just stops right there, it stops at the connection, and it never feels like it goes too far. Right. I think that's great. And I think that's important to kind of note. And I think it's important to kind of keep in mindset, especially as a transfer. Right. How am I going to be handled? Am I going to be handled like, is it going to be daddy ball? Well, I think he's shown with LaJohntay Worcesters, with the Will Shepherds, with the Draylon Millers, with all these other breakout stars that don't have a last name Sanders, that if you're going to be someone who's a transfer, someone who's going to be a young guy and they want to come in and make an impact, hey, this is the place to do it. But yeah, man, that's all I got for you. Please leave a like on this video if you like it, dislike if you don't like it, subscribe if you enjoy college football content, Colorado content. Colorado's about to get gracefully in the transfer portal. Let's see if they can actually do it, because this is just setups, right? These are just setups. I just think they're set up good. I think the plan's good. I think what they've done so far in high school is all good. It's all lining up. Let's see what they actually do.